Hello, my name is Trinh Nguyen, and today I'm going to give out an assessment and consulting presentation for the CEO position for Anything Full company. So let's get started. Uh, Here's a brief overview of what am I going to talk about. And I just want to give a quick introductions on the position as well as the organizations. So the position is the CEO of a furniture manufacturing company, which is Anything Full Limited. And the main functions of the job is to oversees and manage all operations and all of the multi-facets aspect of the company, making sure that the company grow and not having any losses no matter what, because a company that is not growing is a company that is dying. And last but not least is to lead and motivate other employees to work and to serve the company. As for the company, Anything Full is a furniture manufacturing company which specializes in outdoor furnitures, and it imports raw material from China and then assemble them, modify, manufacture them using either hand or with the aid of machineries to produce high quality furniture and sell them and export them to Europe to turn a profit. It has, as of right now, around 150 employees, and its mission is to continue to pursue to make the highest quality products and continue to innovate and provide reliable and top quality service to its customer. As for the CEO job, it is the current CEO personally wants his successor to have at least 10 years of executive management experience. Now, of course, we all know that experience doesn't necessarily correlate to performance. However, it is still a better indicator of performance than a degree. So that's why the current CEO, Mr. Ang, is rarely take into consideration degrees. However, but on the other hand, he prioritizes experience a lot more. Now, of course, a CEO would need to have basics leadership and management knowledge, such as about knowledge, skills, and experience, and abilities, such as supply chain, accounting, marketing, HR, finance, problem solving, inspiring, etc., etc. However, due to the nature of the company and the culture of the company as well, and industry, it will be very desirable in applicants if that applicants has industry-related KSA, such as knowledge about furniture manufacturing or technical skills on operating industry-related machineries, such as the CNC machines. And since the company collaborate and has partnered with other companies from Europe and from China, cross-cultural skill as well as international trade laws knowledge is also could be very desirable. And last but not least, our company have had a history of accidents and incidents. It's a manufacturing company. It is pretty much unavoidable, but it will be great if the applicants have the abilities to mitigate operational risk. Now, of course, the CEO would have a lot of tasks, but I boil it down to four main tasks: basically managing the organization, directing everything, dealing and doing the paperwork with the government, ensuring that the employees are satisfied, are fulfilled, and are safe. And this is a very it's like a company cultural thing where every employees are treated very well and by the CEO, and everyone is very satisfied. And last but not least, to do whatever it takes to drive the company towards its vision, which is to pursue the highest quality products and become a top manufacturer. For recruitment, as of right now, the company employs three recruiting methods, not just for the CEO position, but also for all position: online job posting, referrals, and employment agency. This is all great. All of these have their own pros and cons. However, for the CEO position, so far the potential candidates has always been through referrals, which I think can be risky because referral you are selecting from a very small pool size, and that it's like the number of people that can give out referrals um, to the company is pretty much its employee and its associate, and the network is very limited. So if the job is this can lead to some disparate impact. Basically, you are just selecting people who has the same mindset, so are not bringing anything new to the table. But of course, it's just a risk. It may not necessarily be the case. However, I would still recommend the company to improve its website more, to also recruit applicants through these websites. Now, of course, one flaw of a website could be that the candidates pool can be quite small. However, if we improve the website to a good degree, and then we can drive more traffic through the website, we might be able to increase the pool size. And one pros of the website is that we can bring in a lot of information on each job, including the CEO job. And thus, we should be able to, whatever applicants are applying, they know what they are applying into. They know that they meet all these requirements. And there's that. As of right now, we are employing several of these selection systems, such as background check. We start implementing these recently after we have several incidents with people with a history of crime. I know that the company has a culture of trying to give people a second chance after they make a mistakes. However, we have had cases of hiring people with a criminal background, and then they come in, they start stealing money, they start fights, and then they got fired. It is not good. So I believe using a background check to start eliminating candidates who has a criminal background, especially since we are talking about a CEO position, it's like a top management position. I believe that eliminating candidates who has a criminal history is not too harsh. It's not yeah. And as of right now, potential candidates have their personality evaluated by the current CEO, Mr. Ang, and also they also have their training and experience, so like they get to have a trial work period to see if they are suitable for the company. This is also evaluated by Mr. Ang. However, I think this can be very judgmental because it can lead to a lot of biases. So I believe that maybe we should have some sort of personality test or any sort of mechanical based evaluation methods. I believe that will be more accurate. When it comes to drug tests, it has been proven that people who test positive to drugs has a negative correlation to work performance. However, we can do drug tests. However, the company is based in Vietnam, and in the country, the law says that companies are allowed to do drug tests, but cannot hire or fire people based on the result of that drug test. Basically, the result of the drug test cannot be used as a factor in selection. So that should be taken into consideration too. As for reference check, there's nothing wrong with it. I think we are doing it well. For interviews, now I know that all HR professional would know that interview is not a great method of assessing and to see how well an applicant will perform, but it's the best thing we have. So there we go. But so far, I believe our interviews have only been having some really basic questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a bit about your strengths and weaknesses. I believe that for a top management position, we may need to implement some very Google-like questions, if that makes sense. So maybe a quiz or some sort of a puzzle. So if you get stuck in a hole, how would you get out? It's like it's typical quiz-like, puzzle-like questions that Google usually asks to assess how intelligent the candidates are, as well as how good they are in problem solving. When it comes to the WRCs, our companies have always valued integrity a lot, and I believe it's very important, especially when it comes to a CEO. We don't want a CEO that is going to embezzle money, that is there only for himself. We also would want a CEO who is collaborative with others. We do not want someone who's just going to boss around, tell other people what to do. Especially since Mr. Ang always has a history of modeling the way. He's always there with the workforce. Whenever the employee is doing something, he's always there joining them in the work as well. He's not just sitting in one place and slacking off and doing paperwork. Whenever he has free time, he always helps employees with what they do. So I believe the next CEO should also try to do something like that to collaborate and to inspire others. But last but not least, the CEO should be able to think strategically as well, to plan ahead, to think about risks, to coming up with solutions to all kinds of problems. Maybe it can be something very simple. Maybe the machine, oh, this machine is not working. Well, have we tried replacing the battery? I mean, it sounds very simple, but a lot of time the solution is something like that, but we don't even think about it. So we need a CEO that is at least capable of coming up with solutions to simple problems, as well as calculating the variables. So like, if I do this, well, this will happen. If I say this to this customer, to this partner, he will respond like that, and then I will have different kind of response. So the leader should be able to think ahead. We do not, as of right now, we do not a performance management system for top executives. I believe we should implement that, especially for CEO candidates. So it can be quarterly. So the candidates' abilities can be evaluated quarterly, and it can be evaluated via 4 dimensions, and the anchors can be below expectation, meets expectation, or exceed expectation. So I abbreviate it here. It's here as BEMEEE. So it's like that. And the 4 dimensions are leaderships, and we can make it more. We can further expand it, but for the sake of this presentation, I'm saying that leadership should include conscientiousness as well as communication skills. We can also add other aspect of leadership later in the future, but for now, let's just stick with these. For strategic thinking, I'm saying that a leader should be able to. We can evaluate how good the candidate is at planning, at problem solving. Is he below expectation at planning? Is he exceeding expectation at problem solving, etc.? Same thing for adaptability. I believe that for Anh-Tinh Phú, it should include innovation and resilience. And for operational management, I believe it should include time management as well as the details orientation. So basically, some of my recommendations are to build a more appealing websites so that we can better recruit potential candidates. We should implement more mechanical-based method for those selection systems right here, and we should implement a mechanical-based method like this for our performance management system, so that we know how well our applicants are doing. And so that's it. Thank you for listening.